Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. 7 November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. Roger, 7 November, go. Roger, I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used, and 8-5, this is 7 November, Charlie. 8-5, Roger. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, in reference to your last, you're granted 158 extra box stock, 1200 between teams and local. Also request your unit take ground records to see if we can try to get Whiskey 9 and 8 for Borne into the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf. My unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha, Alpha in there.
One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Hey, I never took a dip. I forgot to take a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. 7 November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. Roger, 7 November, go. Roger, I copied one ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used.
All right, we're live. Listen, this stream, I'm going to do a VA Disability Live Q&A like I always do, not necessarily the free consult one-on-one thing this time. It'll be a normal live Q&A. And hold on, I got something on this one. Let me find it. There, I'll just keep that scrolling at the bottom the whole time. Every single penny made from this stream, from ad revenue and super chats and super stickers or whatever YouTube calls them, I'm going to double it and give it to a veteran family in need. I know this family personally. They are going through it. They need some monies. So whatever it is you give, I'll double it and give it to that family. Anyways, that's a plan. So with that said, let's hop on. Daryl Smith, you have a few questions here. You are 100% P&T. You have some conditions that are not rated. I want to know if they are denied or you just didn't claim them. Do you qualify for SMC? Depends what SMC you're talking about. SMCK, easy peasy. SMCT, not that. That's a very, very large scale. Okay. SMCL, amputations, blindness. What are we talking about? Ghost Rider, I'll come back to you. Yeah, they combined PTSD and TBI. That's fine. So you're, well, I mean, what SMC is my question to you. All right. Ghost Rider says, I got 70% for mental health and they asking me to fill out a PTSD stressor form. Would that be pyramiding? Did you submit for PTSD, right? Or is this VA healthcare? Confused on that. But yeah, mental health is rated under the same umbrella, right? There is a portion on, just to be technical here, I think there's a portion on the DBQ that asks about separating symptoms for mental health I don't think I've ever seen that, and so it would be the same. All right, ATG044 says, I just got rated 80% and the rating changes are happening. I'm safe. I checked with the API and all conditions are static. All right, well, we don't know if the rating changes are happening or not. It's looking like the answer is going to be yes. We just don't know when, right? But yeah, you're static. You have nothing to sweat. Anyone who's rated without a routine future exam has nothing to sweat. IU veteran, 70 mental health for 1 year. Will the VA make me PNT within 3 to 5 years? That's the goal, right? That's what usually happens. Or will the veteran have to submit a form to request PNT? You don't have to. I mean, you can request it if you want. But if you were just rewarded IU, give it some time. The VA will look at that. Mr. E says, I was awarded 70% recently in April for PTSD. What time frame is appropriate to file for an increase? With worsening symptoms documented from VA Psych after recent claim was granted. I don't think time's the issue here. The issue is what evidence do you have that points to 100% VA rating? If it's within 1 year, you could do a supplemental claim. There's CCKs going back and forth through law on that one. But sure, I mean, the answer to your question is it's not time specific. It's what's your evidence say. You either have it or you don't. And when you do, then you submit. Recently got granted service connection for asthma. Effective date was this year, but I filed the claim back in 2023. Is my effective date wrong? Based on this and this alone, the answer seems to be yes. Okay. There are many factors at play here, like the date of diagnosis. What does that look like for you? Was it denied? Supplemental claim? What was the new evidence that was used? Is it PACT Act? Right? That could even push your intent to file date much earlier, August of 22. So there's so many factors involved that obviously I don't know from this comment. But based on this comment alone, okay, the answer is probably. You could do an HLR on the effective date. Buddy Spirits and Cigar says, hey, Clay, thanks for your help in answering questions. Hey, no question. If there's no questions, there's no live stream. All right. Dion says, will the new sleep apnea mental health tinnitus changes take effect 60 days after being finalized? We don't know. We don't know. These are changes to existing criteria. They're not adding diagnostic codes. Okay. Two different things. The GERD and IBS, they were adding to that digestive system. These changes, they're just going to delete, copy, and paste. Okay. They're not adding diagnostic codes here. They're removing one. So I don't know what that looks like. To answer the question on will all claims go under the old rating, we're talking about new claims here. If you have your claim submitted, like you have your diagnosis, your claim submitted, you'll probably be rated on both rating schedules, assuming you're in the middle zone there, and the VA will award the highest. At least that's what they're supposed to do. For anyone who's already rated, it's basically means nothing. Is it better to link sleep apnea secondary to PTSD or sinusitis? Sean Deegan, listen, this goes for any secondary claim. Your evidence will tell you what to link it to. It's not like we just get to be like, yep, PTSD. Okay. Doesn't go like that. My counter question to you is, what is your evidence of your PTSD that links sleep apnea? And what's your evidence of sinusitis that links your sleep apnea? Or are you fat? Are you 350 pounds and that's why you have sleep apnea, right? What does your evidence tell you? Your evidence will always lay out the path to where you should go. Elias, whatever. Recently denied for flat feet plantar fasciitis secondary to ankle injury that I had surgery for. Service connected 20% for your ankle. VA diagnosis, physical therapy prescribed insoles, provided DBQ and Nexus. I mean, first glance, anytime someone submits a DBQ and a Nexus letter, my general answer is to do a higher level review. I'm curious as to the evidence, like why it was denied. They can't just say no. And what does that look like? But I can tell you right now, again, first glance without knowing more to the story, probably doing a higher level review on that one. Probably. Boom, nailed it. Do multiple mental health ratings stack, or do they go with the highest? Example, insomnia, anxiety, depression. Same. It'll be under the general rating formula. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you, actually. Samesies. All right, this is an easy one. We have our gunny Googles here. Let me zoom in. Mental health, 30 CFR, ECFR, general rating formula. You see all these? All these these are called diagnostic codes, DCs. And so you have, what did you say? Insomnia, anxiety, depression. Here you have unspecified depressive. You have MDD here. You'll have anxiety is somewhere on here. Unspecified anxiety. All these diagnostic codes. Okay. Anyways, all these diagnostic codes fall under the general rating formula. And here's how that rates, right? You have some eating disorders down below. Now your question was, do they stack or go for the highest? It's all the same. It's all the same. So you'll have one rating. You can have 30 different mental health diagnoses. You'll have one rating, probably. Is using the API on the website accurate through static, true or false? Yeah. Why would it not be? It's pulling information from the VA. That's all it is. The information is there. It's just allowing us to see it now. Like a behind the curtain look. Not sure if the VA will get my sleep study done before August. Should I submit? If it's not done, then do a submittal after the study. What would I do? I'm assuming you have your intent to file now. You still need your diagnosis. I want to say wait. I tell you what I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say submit a claim that you don't have a diagnosis for. Okay? You have your intent to file. I would probably wait it out. It was granted as of the date of the pulmonary function test done by the VA in January of this year. So they could be using the data diagnosis there. And that would suck. I'm rated at, we have a lot of ANTs and ATGs, rated at 70 for mental health and actively using VA healthcare for mental health. Is talking to the doctor about how meds are managing my symptoms risky? I wouldn't say risky, all right? I'll tell you this. Let me just tell you this. I was reevaluated on my mental health, okay? Not happy about it whatsoever. I didn't submit an increase or anything. And the reason I was reevaluated is because I was going to do treatment through the VA, lots of treatment. And I had some reports in there that it had improved. Okay. So I won't use the word risky, but can the VA use evidence, consistent evidence, to reduce the rating? That answer is yes. Yes, they can. They're not actively doing that, by the way. All right, Ghostwriter. I submitted my I-2 in service stressors if approved with that 70% increase. For mental, it's the same. What are your symptoms? What you just said here does not matter. You're already rated. I want to know what your symptoms are. Your symptoms right now are at 70. Should they be rated at 100? That's the question. All this stuff doesn't matter. I just had a higher level review with informal conference and had 3 duty to assist errors. That sucks. Will the claim correcting the DTA errors be able to be tracked in the VA app like a regular claim? As depending on what you mean by tracked, as vague as the information is, sure, they can be tracked. But I can tell you right now, I'm much more interested in what the DTA errors are for, right? If they are TARA exams, that's not going to be good for you like 99% of the time. Or did the VA make a genuine mistake and they missed something that's super, super clear? Therefore, you need another CMP exam. That examiner is going to see the clear evidence and you'll be service connected. Like, that's way different, okay? In Virginia, there's a new law that passed. Chick-fil-A can't use their styrofoam cups anymore. They have to use these things. And I'm telling you, dude, it changes the taste. I'm not happy about it. Same thing with their chocolate milkshakes. We're 1 day away from paper straws here. 1 day away. All right. Have you ever heard of a CMP examiner calling a diagnosis erroneous? I've heard a lot of things from CMP examiners. I don't know if they use that verbiage specifically, erroneous, especially on a one-time visit. Like, it would be very difficult for a CMP examiner to overturn a diagnosis from your primary care or your referred care, right? Because they're seeing you once, where your primary, your referred care, that's your care team, okay? So it just depends what it is. I'm sure there's instances where that's possible. Oh, yes, dude. I just had someone text me, and it's really good. Okay. I'll have to answer that right after the stream. Any insight into why the VBA keeps pyramiding IBS with GERD even after the changes last year? They shouldn't be doing that at all unless the veteran rates both criteria and the VA is supposed to award the highest. Generally speaking, the old criteria is better for the overwhelming majority of veterans. And so if you're rated on old criteria, that's probably better, especially if you only have one or the other. If you have both, like GERD at 10%, IBS would be at 30. Obviously, the new criteria would be better. If you have just GERD and no IBS, the old criteria is probably going to be better. All right. And so there's still that pocket of veterans that fall between that window here within the next, I'd probably say 6 months, a year to be for sure. You'll see only the new criteria ratings, and then the old criteria will just be a thing of the past. But that's why there's still those veterans within that time frame there, especially because the backlog is really big right now. Having migraines lately from my tinnitus. Is it hard to get approved for migraines? Service connection. I wouldn't say, I think that's the wrong question. Can your migraines be tied to tinnitus? Yes. Have I seen a lot of denials on migraines secondary to tinnitus? Yes. I would much rather, your evidence will tell you which way to go there, but I'm curious if you have like PTSD or anxiety or high blood pressure, right? Really looking at every single correlating factor to your migraines. If you're going secondary route, obviously direct is always better. But this is a time where Nexus letter, there are a few secondary claims where Nexus letters, I think, will come in clutch. Migraine secondary to tinnitus is definitely one of them. All right, DB Cooper. Rated at 20% IBS and 10% sinusitis. Should have gotten 30% each according to 38 CFR. Should I do an HLR or supplemental? Well, DB Cooper, if your evidence that was present during your claim to make the decision of your claim, if it shows 30% for both, then the answer is a higher level review. All right. If not, then supplemental claim. It said no service connected. Yeah. You were, well, that means denied. I forgot your comment. Oh, yeah. The HLR on the flat feet issue there. All right. Thanks, Clay. Makes sense. Not fat, but not turning heads like back in the day. Yeah. It just, yeah. All right. GD V9P. 80% rated for PTSD, tinnitus, and plantar fasciitis. 59 years old. Now diagnosed with cervical and lumbar arthritis with numbness in legs. Can I file for these? You can file for whatever you want. That's not the question. Right? The question is, what is your evidence that these should be service connected? You can file all day, every day. What's your evidence? In fact, our VA claim thing that we started is for situations exactly like this. And we have a website up that is brand new. It's mediocre. You know, it's what we got. Don't hate on the website now. It is what we have. ebvaclaims.com. Look at that thing, dude. It's beautiful, isn't it? This is beautiful. Why use evidence-based VA claims? You shouldn't. Veterans should seek free accredited resources first. Depending on your experience, then and only then should veterans consider evidence-based VA claims. Click below for free consultation or email vaclaims@ebvaclaims.com. I think that's sick, okay? What we offer, you can look at all that stuff here. That's what we do. There's a little Google form. You can complete that. Send it over. We got a resource page here. Great stuff. Okay. Anyways, back to the mission. Hey, Clay, we had a Zoom call a couple months back and wanted to let you know I just got my rating back 100%. Dude, that comment could not have come at a better time. Thank you. Not planned. Definitely appreciate it. What's the charity for? Yes, there's a veteran family in need. They're going through a crisis right now. I asked them if I could share their situation and their names and family photo. They weren't big fans of that. But every dollar made from this stream, I'm going to double it personally and then send it over as a check to the family. All right. Kiki. I filed an intent to file in February 24, then submitted a new claim in June of 25 for the same condition, but with different terminology. I want to know what your diagnosis is first. And it sounds like that claim is going to get kicked back and you're going to be told to do a supplemental claim. That's what it sounds like. You know, if I say left hand condition and then I say, or if I say left wrist condition and then I submit a claim for wrist strain, same. Sames. All right, we have our first donation, $1.99. We'll call it 2. That means $4 to this family in need. Sucks for them. Hopefully we get a little bit more. That would be pretty funny to send them a $4 check. Appreciate it, Pio Dingle. I see you have a chat there. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, November 99. All right. Fusion rating reduced 50 to 40. October 2018. Second fusion grant tended to 100. Returned to 40. I'm assuming we're talking about surgery right now. Rate 100% PNT. Total September 24. When did my 20-year clock start? On your effective date. On the effective date of, we were talking 20-year. Yeah. So it's every effective date. So you're 40%. Let me roll back. Your 100% PNT is the overall rating. That doesn't matter. So kick that to the side. You have individual ratings. Mental health, 50. Back, 40. Radiculopathy, 10, right? You have these individual ratings that all have effective dates on it. And so it's per effective date that protects that rating. There you go. I hope that makes sense. How do you donate? I don't know. Okay. Let me go. So what I see as a creator is different from what you see. Let me go to Veterans Info tab, and I'll just share with you what I'm doing so we all can see the same thing. But Guy Tate, dude, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, your situation blows my mind every time I see your name pop up. But dude, I definitely appreciate that. And I'm sure this family will too. I promise you, they are legitimate. If they weren't in need, I would not do this. I'll tell you that. Okay. How do we donate? Let's watch. Ooh, that's us. Look at us. That's beautiful. I think there should be this right here. I was hoping to see a live. How do I search someone's live? Can I donate to a news organization? It should be right here. Oh, there it is. See? Show your support for Sodak, this person. No, we're not going to do that. Not for you. Bunch of losers. All right. Anyway, that's how. All right. Let's get back to Tate. Dude, thank you. Let me make sure you don't have a question. I'm sure you don't because I know your situation. Yeah, it's doesn't matter. It's for your effective date. So what are your effective dates? And that's your answer. That's when the clock starts. So let's just say it was 10% on effective January of 2000. And then you have, I got you. And then you have an effective date at 40% of January of 2010. 2 different effective dates. So your 10% is on a 20-year clock, and then your 40% is on a 20-year clock. All right. Daryl. SMCR VA hospital is going to have me in a back brace. Knees were denied. Never submitted for dizziness. Use a walker. VA did add my neck and left and right upper extremity radiculopathy. Yeah, and it goes because I know you're 100% PNT, and it goes back to submitting. Because I'm going to assume not everything is service connected. That's the bigger issue here. How good's your evidence for everything you're rated for, and how bad do you want this SMC? That's the question. All right, we have a big donation, dude. Thank you so much. This family is absolutely going to be grateful. I'll try to convince them to get a picture together. I can at least broadcast it. All right. Thank you for all you do. I enjoy all your videos and live streams. Hey, thank you for donating. I appreciate it. Same thing, along for the ride. 2 $50 donations. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This family appreciates it. Yeah. Let me make sure no one asks a question here. Because if you donate, I definitely want to prioritize your questions. All right. Can you get 100% for autoimmune skin disease? Very specific question. I don't know. Let's go check it out. Autoimmune skin disease VA ratings. Yes. Totally depends, obviously, but the answer is yes. What's the diagnostic code? Autoimmune skin diseases VA. 7800. 7800. 38 CFR UCFR. I realize you can't see what I'm doing. Pull it up. It'll be under skin. The answer is yes. The question is, what diagnostic code are we talking about? The answer is yes. I just don't know more specifics beyond that. Yeah, because it depends on the diagnostic code. All right, Kiki filed an intent to file February 24, then submitted a new claim in June of 25 for the same conditions but with different term. Oh, we already answered that one. Been watching here in Korea. Awesome. Thank you for your valuable assistance. No sweat, dude. Just did a mental health CMP exam 3 weeks ago and awarded 70% for mental health, but just got scheduled for another mental health CMP exam. Should I be worried? I would just call the VA and ask them what the heck's going on. Also, sleep apnea deferred, pending exam, but never got scheduled. It'll come in time. It will come in time. We have another $50 donations are going crazy today. Thank you, Patty Tipton, to help the vet family in need. Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate it as well. It's 3. Then we have Guy Tate's here and Pio Dingle. Hilarious. I lost my spot. Let me find my spot. All right, back to Daryl. Medical evidence, STR, current diagnosis for conditions. That was 100%. I mean, on the effective date, of the intent to file, sure. But if you're asking all the way back to whenever you got out, that's not happening. Not happening at all. I've been denied sleep apnea several times. Welcome to the club. All right, we have another donation. Appreciate it. 463 ED. I don't think I saw a chat from you. If you have one, just throw it in the bottom of the chat. I have two feeds going up. I have StreamYard over here, and then the actual YouTube feed over here. Oh, I see it. Benefit summary and service verification letter. You have one or more service-connected disabilities. Yes, your combined rating is 90%. Your current monthly award. Yeah. I don't know what your question is, but it sounds like your service-connected at 90. You just got an increase somewhere of your overall rating. Green light, small bump to the fund. Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate it. They will appreciate it. And you're a member. Same thing with 463. Thank you. I didn't realize YouTube tells me who's a member or not. Guy Tate, thank you. All right. Amount is that much monies. The effective date of the last change to current award, you are considered to be totally and permanently disabled due solely to your service connected. That sounds like IU P&T. I'm sure there's going to be more to it than that. Keep on plugging away and I will pull it up. All right. John Gomez. I keep hearing the tie goes to the veteran statement in these videos. That's because everyone's looking at the most recent court case, which, by the way, the veterans lost. And that was the right decision. Okay. I know that's crazy to say, but these two veterans cases that were brought before the high court were not good at all. I'm not a lawyer person, and I know hindsight's 20/20, but just reading about the two veterans and their situations, there could not have been two worse veterans to bring to the higher court at all. And I'll die on that hill. It was really bad. But that's why you're hearing about it. And to answer your question, so if my doctor's Nexus letter says I have a condition and the CMP doctor says no, does a rater go with my doctor? Depending on the evidence that's used. Was evidence missed? What about competing evidence? What does that look like? The diagnosis shouldn't really be in question. It's more so the billion little things that is connecting it to service, probably. All right, we got more. Nope, we got you. Green light, thank you. Another one from 463. I saw your other chat too. I'll get to it, don't worry. Thank you. Yeah, exactly, guy. Bad facts make bad. Dude, those two veterans cases were just really bad. All right, back to this. So you got 90%. You're being paid. Let me read these all in one go. I am curious. Okay, first off, I just saw those donations. Whoa. Let me finish this one and I'll get to those. I'm curious if things aren't fully updated yet. Like if you just got that decision today and you're just, sometimes it takes a while to update va.gov. Okay, one. Let's assume that's not the issue, but that's definitely a factor. 2, all these things are copy pasted and mistakes are made all the time. That's another factor I'm thinking about. Yeah, like something, exactly what Kish said. Something is wrong here, and I'm curious if you're just pulling va.gov stuff like as they come without giving it time to fully update. But something's wrong straight up. What I would do, I would just call the VA. I would do it Monday. Wait a few days, call the VA on Monday, and then see if anything has been updated, right? Because sometimes whenever veterans are checking everything back to back every day, you're going to get piecemeal information. Not everything updates that fast, but something is up. That's for sure. Okay. Tony Gonzalez. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I'll be doubling this. I'll be doubling everything, okay, and giving it to the family. Thank you for all your help. I put in for IBS, and I was sure that I was going to get 30% and got denied. Service connection is always most important, okay? If it's not service connected, rating don't matter. My other 5 claims that I was iffy on, 3 got approved and 2 got deferred. It's not bad. Which I still have 1 CMP exam, but I already hit 100% with the 3 other. The Zoom call was so helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. First, thank you for trusting in us to even do your one-on-one. But that's great, dude. You're 100% PNT, or you're 100%. I'm assuming that's PNT. You have 2 claims that are deferred. Just go to those CMP exams, wait it out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But thank you for donating to the family. I really appreciate it. I'm sure they do as well. 463. That's your 3rd one, dude. This guy is nuts. Thank you very much, 463, Ed. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. But it does look like you just need to give it some time for those stuff to update. Paula, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and it just happened 2 days ago. Yeah, out Monday, give it a good clean check on the app, and then call the VA to figure out what's going on. I'm curious if like IU is in your wheelhouse as well. But the monthly award is obviously not right. And GD V9P, thank you. That's your 2nd one, isn't it? Or did I just answer a comment from you earlier? I think I just answered a comment. All right, man, we are rolling today. Thank you. All right. Louis Belk says, submitted my claim in February for brain mass, but then a couple of weeks later had a biopsy for presumptive brain cancer. Don't need to send a new claim since they just gave me a Terra exam. I don't know enough about brain mass and how that works. I can tell you right now, if I was you, I would just submit a new claim. I don't think it would hurt. And especially if your new findings of the brain cancer came from VHA, like healthcare side. I mean, there's obviously a billion questions I need answered to give you a full answer here, but with what I have, that's what I would do. Oh, I see that. I don't want to poke the bear with PTSD rating. Can secondaries tied to PTSD result in reevaluation? No, there's no reason to do that. Now, if you have evidence that your mental health has improved, then that answer is yes. Just food for thought. Don't forget, best email in the world. Okay, we have a question. I want to That's a good point. Yeah, a couple weeks later after the claim or during the claim. Time frame matters there. All right, George Reed. Why is Concise Psych waitlist 3 to 4 months? Because Dr. Trauma is a one-man show, right? He personally does everything, so that's why. Plus, he gets a lot of business from this channel. He works with accredited attorneys, claims agents, all kinds of people. All right. Will VHA notes made in secure match of a 3-month period for headaches be better than a Nexus in most cases? Two totally different things. Okay. First, the VHA notes, that's evidence. That's just medical evidence. Over here. A Nexus is an opinion. Okay. It's an opinion. So the question of what are your migraine headache-like symptoms, that's not even, like, those are documented. That's there. Boom. The question is your headaches, migraines connected to service? The Nexus answers that question. Okay. Two totally separate things. Okay. Ghost Rider says, I've been denied sleep apnea in the past, got an ACE, and they gave me 50% sleep apnea under Terra. Yeah. Terra is, I've seen sleep apnea connected via Terra a few times, mainly for the OG Iraq veterans. I think that's actually the only people I've ever seen Terra. Well, some of these Shield Storm veterans as well, but mainly like Iraq 03, 06 time frame. I see more Terra connections for that group, that audience, versus anyone else. It's not that if you don't fall in that, you can't get it. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I've seen the most Terra connections from that audience specifically. James Isaacs says, can I file a primary and secondary condition at the same time? Yes, you can. Through va.gov, if you're doing it yourself, or you're working with the VSO and you want to submit a 526EZ, you can also do that yourself. I don't recommend that. But if you're doing it on va.gov, it has to be at the same time. Okay. They haven't really worked out that kink yet. All right. Jim in FAL. 50% sleep apnea, 40% fibro, 30% IBS, 30 sinusitis, 10 rhinitis. Getting ready to file for anxiety, depression, secondary to IBS, sleep, file now or wait. Be honest with you, I don't really like that. I don't really like the primary claims there, personally. Usually you see mental health. Let me just say this. I have never seen mental health, with the exception of insomnia. I have never seen mental health not connected direct or chronic pain. I've never seen it connected to any other way, direct or chronic pain. Not saying you can't, okay? I'm just saying that is by far, and direct is by far the most commonly claimed. Secondary to chronic pain, I would probably shoot for the second there. I don't know about IBS and sleep apnea, especially if your CPAP machine works. I'm not too confident there for you. But to answer your question, should you file now or wait? You have the diagnosis, file now. You have the evidence. That's the answer. I'm not too giddy on your primaries there. That's totally my opinion, which means nothing. Bobby D's, always my favorite name here on YouTube. We got to do that free consultation the last time did the stream. That was pretty great. And you're at 94% if I remember, which sucks. All right. How long did it take you to get a call for an informal conference? Ooh. I did an HLR on my migraine specifically. I want to say it was service connected. It was service connected at 0%. About 2 months later, maybe let's just call it 3 months just to be sure. 3 months later, had my HLR call, informal conference. 8 days after that call, because I had the evidence, it was pushed to 50%. Right there. No CMP exam needed. And the DRO, the decision review officer, told me that on the phone. Hey, you're going to be 50%. That's going to push you to 100. This will happen soon. And that was it. Like the call lasted like 2 minutes. It was great. Only because I had the evidence, which is key there. And evidence meaning prescribed medication. I'm over here using GammaCore. This is the box. The actual set is upstairs in my room because I'm going to use it tonight. It's a little bit late. I use it every night. But GammaCore, treatment for migraines, highly recommend. It's free through the VA. Talk to your primary, your referred care. Ask about GammaCore if you have migraines. It's great. It's a very sweet treatment that's not a pill. All right, but thank you for donating. I definitely appreciate that. The family will appreciate it too. I'm going to try to get a family photo. I just don't know if they'll be down. All right. Good evening, Clay. What's up? Actually, let me text her right now. Husband, wife, and 2 kids. That's the family. Okay. Good evening, Clay. If my medications actually help my mental health condition slightly, am I at risk? Currently 100% P&T. No, I know why you're asking that because I reviewed the final rule change there. At the same time, if our evidence consistently shows our conditions are improving, the technical, I'll give you 2 answers. I'll give you the real answer. I think you're fine. Don't worry about it. The technical answer is the VA can do whatever the VA wants to do within the confines of the law. And if you have medical evidence showing an improvement, the answer is yes. Okay, but they're also not digging around either. All right, how do you donate? Should be a little cash button with a square down at the bottom to donate to the family. All righty. She sent me a picture. I'm going to email it to myself and then save it, and I'll pull it up. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, we're good. All right. Let me pull this up. I'll answer your questions. Let me pull this up real quick. Well, that didn't go through. All right, whatever. We'll have to wait for it to load, I guess. Have a records review next week for migraines, already service connected, 70% PTSD. Have Nexus letter, 2 lay statements. I'm assuming we're talking about migraines secondary to PTSD. I can tell you right now, your lay statements don't matter. Have migraine buddy, taking sumatriptan from physician. Okay, that's pretty solid. You might want to try the gamma course. Okay. Got that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want this. Why is it not? Oh, it went to my spam folder. How does emailing myself go to my spam folder? All right, let me just add this picture to the StreamYards, and we'll look at we will see the family. Okay. Rob R. Hey there. Thanks for the great content. Appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. Am I being misled that without esophageal stricture, you can get 10% for daily medication to control it? Also going to file. Yeah, if you have GERD and you're on medications and it's a persistent chronic disability or condition, submit the claim, assuming it's connected to service, you'll get 10%. That's correct. Here's the family. Oh, nice. Look at that. Aren't they real cute? That's the family there. Husband, wife, 2 school-age kids. They need some monies. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give it to them. All right. Let me answer. I just saw the new donation down below. I'll get to that here in a second. Okay. Hey there. Thanks for the great. Oh, no, we already answered that one. Nice. Cool. I'm already ahead of it. Thank you very much, Delta 05. USMC. Appreciate that. Thank you. No worries. What's the migraine thing called again that you mentioned? Oh, that's Gamma Core. Gamma Core is great. Okay. Mine is upstairs right now. I wish I had it. It's this little white thing. You put it on there. I can link. I did a live stream with a person, a representative from Gamma Core. Let me just link that in the comments below. It answers questions about the treatment. There's some additional benefactors there. But she answers everything. She's pretty cool too. Gamma Core live stream. Here it is. Share. Bam. All right. Sweet. You'll find that down below in the chat. Okay, we are with Patty Tipton. Appreciate all you for vets. Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate you. Can't find the button to donate. Should be like this cash looking thing. Everything will be doubled and then given to the family. So I don't know. Let's do some math, actually. I want to total up how much I have to pay. and then we'll get back to answering comments. So first we have a 2, then we have a 20, and then a 50, and then a 50, and then a 50, and then a 25, and then a 10, and then a 25, and then a 200, dude. Big smackaroos, big cojones over here. And then a 20. Oh, I see. You found it. Then a 10. And then a 25. That's your third one, dude. Thank you very much. Then Bobby D's with the 5. And then Delta with the 5. And we have a new one with the 5. Ah! 5 plus 5. Okay, we're over $1,000 I have to give. Okay, donations are over 500, and so now I'm giving 1,000, about 1,000. Sweet, dude. I'm excited. I am excited. Okay, will the VA pay for GammaCore? Yes. Given your VA benefits, right? If you're 50% or higher, all your health care is free. If you're 40% or lower and rated for your service connected for headaches, migraines, yes. But they will pay for it. Okay. In fact, I have 2. One's from the VA, and then one is from, because I partner with GammaCore, they gave me another one. So I keep one in my car, and then I keep one in the house. Right now it's upstairs. Yes, GammaCore is absolutely, I'm not joking. It's good. I'm not a big medication person, although I do take daily medication for migraines. It definitely helps. My claim been stuck on step 4. Any insights, suggestion as to why? The VA's got a big backlog. VA raters are working overtime. Okay. They are working overtime. You'll see Kish down in the comments. He's a VA rater. You can ask him how much overtime he's working. He'll tell you 25 hours. I think it's 25 per pay period, right? But your claim is just in the claim system. Okay. They will get to it when they get to it. See, he is working overtime. 15 for Kish there. Okay. 100% IU going for SMCT. Any advice? A, to claim and evidence. SMCT, just so you know, is very serious. Like that is your life is absolute dog water. It sucks. That's what SMCT is for. Looking at very severe TBI like stuff. Okay, we have another donation down here. Thank you very much, B. Foster. Should I pay for a doc for diagnosis for presumptive? So, I mean, should you pay for healthcare? The answer is yes. Here in America, if you have access to VA, that's a good option there. So there's a healthcare side of this and the disability side of that. Should you have a diagnosis for a presumptive claim? The answer is yes, always. No diagnosis, no claim. Period. Okay. Diagnosis is like the easiest thing veterans can get. The evidence from service, assuming direct, it'll be there or it's not. And then the secondary evidence is possible to the veteran to get, and sometimes not as easy. And I see your second question here. I was denied sinusitis and IBS for no diagnosis. Sounds like you need a diagnosis to submit a supplemental claim. My VA doc writes down symptoms but won't give a diagnosis. Want to pay. So I want to know what. So I don't want you to self-diagnose, okay? If you have sinusitis, like were you given a CT scan? For an IBS, were you given a colonoscopy? Are you on medication for it? What does that look? I have tons of questions there. Let's just assume you've done everything you can and your healthcare team sucks. The bonus to private healthcare is it's good and it's fast and you can get what you want, okay? I can tell you right now from a VA disability perspective only, just from a VA claim perspective, which is better, private or VA care? I'm going private every day of the week, personally. But again, some people's VA healthcare teams are pretty solid. Mine's okay. Mine's so-so. I'm out of the DC VA Medical Center there. They've actually made me mad the last few times, but all right. Went CMP, got reduction. That sucks. VA changed my reduction date because I had a new claim. Wanted to know if it's too late to reclaim my reduction. Have evidence now. I mean, you would just do a increase, it looks like. I don't know how long has gone by, but it sounds like you've been reduced. You have more evidence to show that the condition has worsened. Sounds like an increase. Man, I have so many emails to answer. Okay. Who is that? Franklin. I'm trying to find a new question. Okay, here we go. Yeah, B. Foster. You're going to need a diagnosis, big dog. And same thing for sinusitis. You need a chronic diagnosis. Chronic. Okay. All right. Hey, Clay, I'm at 90%. Started the process 35 years ago after I got out. 57, but have only been service-connected since 22. Am I protected under the 55-year-old rule? What you're asking, the answer is yes. I wouldn't use the word protected personally, but the VA is not going to go snooping on your stuff. Okay? You're good. Now, if you want to look at 100%, or you want to take a stab at it, you might be interested in using our claim service here. People get butthurt that we started this. I don't care. Okay. VA claims at ebvaclaims.com. We have a mediocre website you can visit. It's right here. Mediocrity at its finest. Okay. That's not it. It's right here. Get a free month of VeteranAI. It's a win-win. Okay. Green lights. No, it's answering another veteran. Thank you for that. Is it the same to upload your medical evidence to Quick Submit than to the VA claim website? Same. Same. How do we get Terra approved? Deployed to Turkey for 6 months in 93, but TDY. I don't see it listed on my DD214. Did they use DTS back in 93? I don't know. your record should show and indicate that you rate, right? And it's not being TARA approved. You would have exams because you would rate a TARA exam. I can tell you right now on the healthcare side of the house, I would just do the burn pit registry phone call thing and at least get that started. All right, we have another donation down here from Bobby D's 2-time. Thank you very much. If a claim was filed but missing current diagnosis, can I get the diagnosis and add it to the claim? Yeah, you can. You can. I would want to know how far. I'm assuming you mean a claim that's in process right now. I would submit that, do quick submit as fast as you can. Call the VA, let them know, and if it's denied, all right. If it's denied, then you have the option to do a higher level review. Like if it's denied for not having a diagnosis and you submitted it, you know that, hey, someone overlooked this, although you submitted new evidence. That's how you do that. We have Dennis Spahn, creator of VeteranAI. We are still raising money for someone. Yes, we absolutely are. And that someone is this family right here. I don't want to share their names. The husband is the veteran. They have 2 school-age children. This is the wife here. They are good friends of mine. And told them I'd do a charity event for them. They're definitely in need. I'm not going to share their story, but just know that it sucks. It sucks a lot. Yep. All right, but thank you, Dennis. Ooh, and while I'm at it, hold on. How's it going, people? What's up? Veteran Latinos Day USA. Nice. Be sure to visit VeteranAI. Okay, hold on. Boom. You can see we partner with VeteranAI. You'll get a free month if you use our service. If you don't need our service, that's fine. At least visit VeteranAI. You can log in here. Let me log in. I don't want people to see my credentials. I don't even know what email I use. I have like 50 emails. Okay. You can hop on VeteranAI. This has changed a lot. See statements here. I built a statement, diagnosis, Nexus letter. You can upload your decision letters, claim letters. You can do some chats. You can add disabilities. You can create Nexus letters, create statements. You can ask the chat. Watch, I'll just give you an example. How can I service connect IBS via TARA if I serve in Turkey? I think someone had that question here. Now, that's a super specific question. I'm actually curious as to what it's gonna say here. Putting it on the spot. To service connect to IBS, need the following specific: verify Persian Gulf veteran status, gather evidence, complete required forms, request examination under MUCMI. Look at that. It did do it correctly. Whoa. Good job. That's definitely been upgraded for sure. That's a hard question, I think. In my opinion, I think MUCMIs are one of the most difficult topics for your average veteran to understand. Boom. Nice. To show you where it's pulling that from, probably. VA presumptive list. We'll go here. We will go here. Go here. Nope. Not there. Wrong place. Dang it. Why won't it give me that PDF? I've done this many times. Why won't it give me that PDF? That's going to make me mad. Found it. That's why va.gov is dumb. Okay, anyways. Scroll down. Gulf War. MUCMI. IBS. Bam. Good product there, Dennis. Okay, anyways, VeteranAI. It's sick. Let me look up where we were. I always forget where we were at. Doesn't matter because we have a nice. I'm going to save that so I don't have to do that again. All right. Boom. Charles May. Thank you very much. All this gets doubled and it'll be sent to this family here. Sweet family right here. Okay. Move this up big. Thank you very much, Charles. Appreciate that. I appreciate it. I'm sure they will appreciate it. Here's to making you contribute more. Hey, I'm here for it. Thanks forever. Everything you do. Yeah. Thank you. All right. How's it going? It's going. What's the migraine thing called again? That's Gamma Core. We definitely mentioned that one. Thank you for that, Kish. Rudy Perez. I'm at a crossroads. All right. Hopefully we can add some guidance here. We've been streaming. Okay. It's almost time to go night-night. I'm at a crossroads. About to shell out money for help. I got denied for sleep apnea and diabetes. I put in a weak claim. I need help. I have my denial letter that says I was denied. Well, Rudy, if you want to use our service, you can. Just email VA Claims at ebvaclaims.com. You can also just visit ebvaclaims.com if you want. Or you can use another company and be charged thousands of dollars. Totally your choice. But we could help probably. Any suggestions on where to go for a Nexus? I mean, full disclosure, everyone should know I partner with American medical experts. That's who I would recommend for a Nexus letter. If your primary care or referred cares are willing to write one, VeteranAI is a great Nexus letter generating resource there. So it depends on your situation, right? But that's two options there. You can use Dr. Sharma if you want. There's a wait list for him. And there's many others out there. All right. We will not assist. Evidence-based VA claims will not touch any VA form ever. Ever. Nope. The answer is no. If you put in a claim and gets denied, does it still fall under the same original time your claim was put in? Depends if you submit a supplemental claim or higher level review within that 1 year time frame. I guess Q is a factor there. Pretty rare in my opinion. Yeah, it depends if you maintain that effective date. If you're doing a supplemental claim, the nature of the evidence will determine or plays a factor into the effective date as well. But to answer your question, yes, you can maintain your original intent to file date. All right. I learned about the VA disability benefit a year after I retired. Do I still have a chance to get a claim without VA medical records? Yes. Yes. Why? I'm just going to call you YCZ. Okay. YCZ. Yes. You're probably looking at everything direct, especially if you've retired. I would absolutely hop on your claims. Okay. 100%. Submit any, basically whatever you have a current diagnosis for, I would submit to keep it simple. And no, you don't need VA medical records. And if you've been seeking private healthcare, be sure to upload or give the VA access to those. All right, Rob R. Thanks for the answer about GERD. Had GERD and IBS in service. Never treated while I was in. That sucks. Was diagnosed less than a year after service. Once I had personal insurance, thought it was worth a try. Yeah, I think that is a solid argument there. I don't want to say anything within 1 year is a good argument, but it's difficult to argue against that. Okay. Is a 20-year gap a problem? Yeah, a 20-year gap is a problem. That's a new comment there. I kind of went out of order. Let me explain this, okay, and then we'll get back on track. So let's say you got out in 1984, or just we're doing 20 years. Let's say you got out in 1995. That's 30 years. Oh, my goodness. Okay, you got out in 2005. You have zero complaints of flat feet from 2005 all the way to today. Nothing. Zero indications, no over-the-counter medication, nothing. Can the VA deny you based on the C&P examiner's opinion of a negative nexus, which then would be based on a lack of a persistent debilitating disability? The answer is yes. Right? So you have to plug, there's a hole there and you got to plug it up. All right. So what evidence do you have within that time gap? So look at that. But then you say you're service connected 10%. So time gap doesn't matter. Once you're connected, that doesn't matter. It's just current symptoms. I figured out how to donate. Had a question. It's showing in the chat place half an hour ago. I think I answered it, Paula. I'm going to double check. Oh. You didn't type it out. So I answered every question, I think, up to this point. If I didn't, just type it again. I'm going to need you to do that. Appreciate your knowledge. You serve, you deserve. That goes for everyone. Oh, we got some. Okay. JMD, Millie. Is it easy to prove you have IBS and GERD while you're still in the service, going through the MedWorld process? That's a wrong question. You either have it or you don't. So you need to just talk about it. Talk about it with your Peblo there, your person doing the medical retirement exam. Look at your NARSM. That's going to be a big factor there. Narrative summary is what that stands for. I'm at 20% and they issued me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there are many devices. I was denied sinusitis IBS for no diagnosis. We answered that one. That's a response there. My Seattle VA team is actually pretty proactive. I think you mean VHA stuff? Oh, yeah, because you're talking about that, yeah. Okay, my prior chat was I recently filed for PTSD due to MST. Let me skip this. I have been denied for depression in the past. Do I file supplemental claim? It'll be a new claim if you're looking at PTSD due to MST. I have claims for chronic pain and plantar fasciitis secondary. File now. If you have the evidence, submit the claim. But the PTSD due to MST is its own. That's a new claim. New claim. IBS is diagnosis of exclusion. It's quite unpleasant, especially when you're looking at undiagnosed illness. And that's essentially what the VeteranAI chat was getting at. It's quite unpleasant to rule out all the other things it could be before they shrug and say, well, it's IBS. Yeah, it's definitely a time waster for sure. We answered that one. How long does step 5 usually take? No one on this planet can answer any timeline claim questions. I hate to answer it that way, but that's the answer. All right. Matt S., thank you very much. So thanks for everything you do. I've been out since 2009. Just recently submitted my first evidence-based claim for PTSD, 70% in 50 days. Hey, congrats, dude. Follow the formula. Follow the formula. It works, okay? If it didn't work, I won't talk about it. All right, my VA healthcare team is trash, sadly. They're not all the same. They like to find ways to deny me my necessary health treatments. Secure message goes a long way, just so you know. I would use secure messaging. You haven't had treatment for IBS because I just deal with it. Well, dealing with it sucks, but when it comes to VA disability claims, it means it doesn't exist. Okay? So you're going to have to stop dealing with it yourself and deal with it through healthcare. I want to know if I'm the only vet who has found out that at a visit, my doctors haven't given me the full story of what they write. I recently read my files and I'm blown away. It happens to everyone. Happens to everyone. To my understanding, I think VHA is moving towards a voice AI recap supplemental tool or something like that to recap each visit. Kind of like Gemini recording voices and stuff. I think that's what they're leaning towards. I don't know about that, but that would probably help. I had 5 CMP exams within 2 weeks after I filed. I've been on step 3 for 3 months now. Well, it went fast there for a second. All right. I'm trying to find a new question. Clay. Can the VA give an opinion of the summary report of my stay in the hospital while I was in? The doctor is inconsistent and his report doesn't match the nurse's reports. I don't want to say what the VHA can or can't do. The VHA is not my cup of tea. I think asking them to do that, maybe. What is it specifically? Is there a discrepancy? You could address that discrepancy. I would do it in a secure message personally. Address the discrepancy through a secure message, so that way it's evident. It's right there. They have to respond. And then what is happening specifically, right? And for what reason? Is it for a claim reason? There's obviously more to the story. it's difficult for me to say what VHA can or can't do, or what your healthcare team can or can't do. Patient advocacy, that definitely is a little alarm going off in my head. But Kish did bring up a great point here. Doctor beats a nurse every single time. All right. And Dennis with VeteranAI says they added M21. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to be... Actually, let me do something. Okay. Been going to, oh, hold on. I'll get to that in a second. I missed a donation here. Nuclear. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Thanks for all you do. You rock. Thank you. Don't forget, everything's going to this family. I'll double it. Right now, we're probably at $1,500. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Nuclear Chicken. All right. Been going to VA Psych for anxiety. Initial eval at VA is severe. Been attending therapy. What's my next best step? If you, well, first, healthcare is healthcare. That doesn't matter. It's way over here. Then you have service connection. So is your anxiety from the service? From your service? If the answer is yes, okay, what evidence do you have to show the answer is yes? And then submit the claim. That's your next step, okay? All right, we have another donation. Thank you, BF. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Completed my DBQ Nexus for PTSD due to MSD. I've been out since '88 and was approved for 70%. It took 11 months and 2 additional CMP exams. I wanted to comply as much as possible. I'm sure that process absolutely sucked for you, but I'm glad you're service connected. And Dr. Sharma is absolutely awesome, right? If you want to use him, he is Prashant Sharma 2 at concisepsych.com. Hopefully I spelled that right. Yeah, he's great. This is a different Dr. Sharma. Many, many Sharmas and Patels out there in the world. And yes, I'm monitoring the chat. I'm going down in order and prioritizing super chats. And all dollars made from this is going to, I'm going to double it, and it's going to this family. Veteran family in need. All right. What would trigger reevaluation under the new criteria? I mean, hallelujah, I've been healed and it's documented medically and it's well documented, then sure. Outside of that, no, you're fine. If you're already rated, you're fine. As long as you don't have a routine future exam. Okay, I'm going to try and do a rapid fire here because I got to go to bed. During my CMP exam, I was only seen for a few conditions I claimed. Is it normal to not be seen? Yeah, you'll probably have some deferred claims and then some more CMP exams. What are your thoughts if my CMP examiner says I could connect this as secondary? I mean, that's pretty good. That's very good. I saw the doctor once for IBS and GERD while I was in service. Do you think that one visit will be enough? That does count as an in-service event. Okay. So you satisfy an element there. I want to know if it was for that or symptoms like that. What was the outcome? I mean, obviously I have a ton of questions, but I can tell you right now, you have something in service. That's a step in the right direction. Okay. I was wavered into basic, got injured in 96 in training, then medically discharged. Well, if you're talking about if you're talking about the claiming the condition that was waived, it's going to be an aggravation claim. Just so you know, I think those are the hardest claims out there, personally. All right. I'm trying to get to the bottom here. Lori T, thank you very much. We have 2 claim coaches on right now, Nuclear and Lori. Lori did beat you, Nuclear. I'm not going to lie. Appreciate that. Everything will be donated to this family here. I'll double it. Push it. And then Kish says he finds it easy. I generally, so the reason I say that is I generally see flat feet and asthma, like especially like acute or asymptomatic flat feet. I generally find those denials more than most. Have complaints for years after in notes and physicals as well. Original diagnosis. That was for your GERD and IBS, yeah. All right, going for an increase. Good luck there. I go in order. Big dog. Blue Ridge Driving School. Got 1974. Whoa. Went from 0 to 90. Started in 23. Listening to YouTube. Congrats, dude. I'm glad to see it. I'm absolutely glad to see it. I hope you're living the best life you possibly can. I know it's not fun answering the same questions over, but we all appreciate it. Don't worry, dude. I do this. Trust me, I got it. Not a big deal. If there's no questions, there's no live stream. George Reed, thank you very much. I was just service connected and wanted to file an appeal to increase my rating. Should I submit an intent to file a supplemental while I wait for my supplemental claim? Hold on. You were just connected. You want to file a supplemental claim on what you were connected for. If it's within 1 year, you don't need an intent to file for the supplemental claim. I think that's what you're asking. The intent to file would be for new claims. Within 1 year, your supplemental claim would go back. And then depending on the nature of the evidence, what would kind of sway your effective date there. Okay, let me go back up. I'm trying to get to the bottom here before I dip out. 80% IU have been paid. Oh my gosh, annoying. Okay. You have nothing to be worried about when it comes to TDIU. You're 75 years old. You're good. Okay. I'm probably going to make a TDIU going away video because I've seen so many people ask about IU going away. I'm assuming it's coming from the CBO stuff that happened like in 2019, I think. The answer is no. That's the answer. Okay. 10% service connected, 64 PFD, winning for increase. They denied my claims. I want to say copy and paste issue there. I have a few questions I would like to ask on that one. That is interesting. Are you diagnosed with Meniere's? That's my first question, probably. And then what's your rating for PFD? Because it's at 10 and 30% if I remember. If you went to the doctor, IBS GERD, we answered that one. That's the in-service event there. We have some repeat questions. Can you look up Captain Mass records? That's a Navy thing. I don't know. I got denied for all my physical issues. They were filed wrong. I didn't have a diagnosis. What should I do? Get a diagnosis, submit a supplemental claim. All right. And I don't know what you mean by filed wrong. Yeah. My claim was denied. No link, disability in service. When my C file shows CMP medical opinion was positive. I filed HLR and came back due to error for no medical opinion. Something's weird there. Okay. Something is absolutely weird going on. IBS GERD, wouldn't that be sufficient? Really don't want to waste my time. Submitting a claim takes about 10 minutes. Okay, that's that. Roger. How long usually does it take to get a copy of CMP exam? It takes forever. About a month if you're doing a request through your regional office there. I'm trying to rapid fire because I'm going to bed. %, migraines, have buddy statement from co-worker, personal statement. What should I do when refiling? You're connected. What you need to do is I have a video specifically for you. Okay. Let's go look. Let's go take a peek. Because current symptoms are everything for you. It's actually a GammaCore video too, which means I know exactly where it's at. And look, it's going to come with its own statement template. Okay. It's awesome. Migraine increase. I love you too. Dad has Cop D. He was in the Army. Is it presumptive if he never deployed overseas? Nope. Maybe exposure. I don't know where he was or where he was exposed to. That's a stretch. But is it presumptive? Nope. Not even close. About 20 years too short. Increase is fine. If you're talking about the increase in supplemental issue, the increase is fine. There's a thing that CCK has with the federal government over that exact issue. But the increase is the way to go. Certificate for shin splints, VA podiatry, visited orthodontics. My records that my shin splints are secondary to flat feet. Well, your shin splints are a result of your flat feet. Okay. So it's not if it was the other way around, that'd be better. Should I submit a claim for flat feet? Did your service cause flat feet? Do you have evidence from service of flat feet? It's not saying your shin splints caused your flat feet. It's saying your flat feet caused your shin splints. And I don't think those two are, I don't think it's a two-way street there. Think tank. The answer is yes. Submit the claims. I hope that's as simple as I can make it. Not rated Meniere's, only 10% for PFD. What is a 30%? I think it's 10 and 30. And I want to say it's dizziness spells. Yeah, dizziness and occasional staggering. Do you have that? Do you have evidence that shows that? Are you on medications like meclizine for dizziness and staggering? Do you vomit like when you're on an elevator? Do you vomit in an Uber because you get car sick easily, right? Those are questions I would ask. I would speak with your healthcare provider about, and then get that ball rolling. By filed wrong, I mean my VSO filed physical claims caused by trauma under TARA. Okay? It's a little bit more than that, but yeah, secondary dizziness. Okay. This is the last question, guys. I don't think I have made it to the bottom in a while, but I wanted to because tons of people donated. I'll add up the total here, and then I'll hop off. Yep, because it's same there. Okay. Hey, Jason. Not Jason. I'm Clay. Jason has the bigger beard. I am growing mine out, if you can't tell. I'm trying to get my thick mustache going. 10% for decades. Air Force, Gulf 4, K9 handler station, Ogie for 5 years and saw unique missions. Okay, sick. You might want to go to ebvaclaims.com. Just saying. You want to see the world's best mediocre website with awards, best VA claim company? Here it is. Okay. All right, let's do some math. Oh, you're P&T. Cool. Ignore what I just said then. Let's do some math. I got to math it up again. So we have this person. We have 2 plus 20 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 25 plus 10 plus 25 plus 200. You win, Tony Gonzalez. I don't know what you win, but you win. Plus 20 plus 10 plus 25 plus 5 from Bobby D's plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5 plus 50 plus 200. Hey, you win. You win, Charles May. You also win. Thank you. I didn't realize. Totally didn't realize that. Plus 5 plus 25 from Nuclear. Thank you very much, Nuke, for everything. Plus 10. That's a new one. Or maybe I skipped it. I don't know. Plus 25 from Kellyan. Thank you very much. Keep up the great work. 3 claim coaches in here. Nuclear's a claim coach. Kellyan's a claim coach. And Lori's a claim coach. Appreciate that. Plus 50. Plus George Reed. That brings a total to 884. That's where we are at. All right. I'm just gonna call it an even 1,000, and I'll donate 2,000 to this family. So $2,000. That's what we got out of this. I appreciate it for all those who donated, even those who didn't donate, who stayed and watched the ads, click skip when they popped up. That's also gonna be some money donated to this family right here, who is a veteran and is in need. All right. But hey, that's all I got. Thank you very much for coming to the stream. We made it to the bottom. I don't think I've ever made it to the bottom. But yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.